Superman and Man of Steel finally go head-to-head in their box office earnings as Henry Cavill's legacy gets threatened by David Corenswet. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Please like, share and subscribe for more. When released in 2013, Henry Cavill's Man of Steel started off strong but hit a speed bump in the second weekend due to a flood of negative reviews and an even harsher word of mouth. At the end of its box office run, it held the record for being the highest-grossing solo Superman movie of all time, earning $668 million worldwide and $291 million domestically, the numbers. But this neat little number is now threatened by David Corenswet's Superman, whose $289 million in domestic earnings is expected to surpass Cavill's box office record by tomorrow, via Discussing Film. For the longest time, Henry Cavill's Man of Steel single-handedly held the honor of being the highest-grossing solo Superman movie of all time. But not anymore. A decade later, David Corenswet's Soup, all puppy eyes, pouty face, dimpled smile, and naive optimism, has won over the fans for good. The golden favorite of DC, Superman, landed a strong comeback and hit a home run simultaneously in James Gunn's 2025 summer blockbuster. Now the DCU movie threatens the box office record of Zack Snyder's DCU film from 2013 and is set to surpass its domestic earnings by tomorrow, at best. Since Christopher Reeve took off with Superman, the movie in 1978, it has been one iteration after another of superhero movies and TV/animated series. Countless different versions of Superman, Batman, Joker, and Spider-Man populated mainstream media with countless reboots and restarts. So much so that James Gunn declared a ban on origin stories of Soup, the Bat, and Spidey. But despite all the distinctly unique versions of the Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's 2013 film managed to polarize the audience, and the DC Extended Universe it launched became the most obsessively talked about phenomenon of the 21st century, discounting Barbenheimer, of course. And it's not necessarily a good thing. For whoever said all publicity is good publicity has never lived through the DCU debacle that resulted in the Snyderverse resurrection and the volatile #ReleaseSnyderCut movement on social media. In hindsight, the raging public storm seems silly and a completely unhealthy coping mechanism on the fandom's part after not being able to come to terms with Snyder's WB exit. However, it is also important to note that Man of Steel was released more than a decade ago. So, when adjusted for inflation, assuming an average annual inflation rate of around 3.2%, for a more accurate comparison of the two DC films, Moses' $291 million would equate to $387 million domestic, and its $668 million would be equivalent to $920 million worldwide. In 2025, which of the two films do you prefer best? Spill your thoughts and make your opinions heard in the comments below. Superman is now playing in theaters worldwide. In contrast, James Gunn's fresh new start with DCU has not only healed the broken fandom but also shown the audience a better way to bring Superman's story to life. Corenswet's Superman carries all the complex goodness, hope, and optimism that is signature to his identity, while also dealing with 21st century politics and humanity's modern-day woes that made Man of Steel seem so gritty at the time. Gunn includes every bit of Machiavellian machinations, a despicable and brilliant villain, masterfully choreographed action scenes, romantic interludes, and banger needle drops, all while evoking the freewheeling silliness of the Silver Age. Truth never hurt so bad, and justice never felt so good in this movie that easily overshadows the brooding, grim-dark vision of Henry Cavill's Man of Steel. While David Corenswet's Superman dominates theaters, Henry Cavill's Man of Steel shocks fans by climbing HBO Max's global streaming charts. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Please like, share and subscribe for more. James Gunn's recently released Superman is on a box office rampage, flying past expectations. With fresh faces, vibrant tone, and a return to Superman's hopeful roots, the film has not only revived the DC universe, it has also reignited public interest in the character. And David Corenswet just nailed his role as the hopeful version of the DC hero. While David Corenswet's Superman dominates theaters, Henry Cavill's Man of Steel shocks fans by climbing HBO Max's global streaming charts. While James Gunn's Superman continues to fly high at the box office, breaking records and earning staggering box office success, another Kryptonian is quietly stealing the spotlight. Yep, we're talking about Henry Cavill's 2013 installment, Man of Steel. Over a decade after its release, Zack Snyder's divisive yet visually striking origin story still seems to be winning hearts on HBO Max. This rare feat isn't just about nostalgia. It's a testament to the lasting impact of Cavill's brooding, emotionally conflicted Superman, who first flew into the DCU with a bang and quite a few demolished buildings. As debates rage about who's the better Superman, Cavill's tormented god or David Corenswet's hopeful hero, fans are clearly revisiting Zack Snyder's gritty vision in flocks. It's clearly visible that while Corenswet's iteration is winning hearts at the box office, Cavill's version is far from forgotten. Henry Cavill's darker, more conflicted take on the superhero has surged to the 8th position globally on the streaming platform, proving that fans are still invested in Zack Snyder's vision via FlixPatrol. That's no small feat for a decade-old film that was initially labeled divisive upon its release. It's almost like Superman pulled off a comeback in the DC universe. So far fans are loving it, and it's quite visible in the box office collection of Superman. It's been 4 days since the release of James Gunn's movie, and the 2025 installment has already amassed $220 million against its $225 million production budget, via the numbers. But while the new Superman basks in theatrical glory, Man of Steel from 2013 is rising again. This time on HBO Max, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel gave us a Superman unlike any we had seen before, haunted by guilt, burdened with godlike power, and unsure if Earth even deserved saving. The film was moody, intense, and packed with explosive action. It wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but for many, Henry Cavill's Superman felt like a relatable immigrant just trying to fit in. This dual success shows how much Superman means to people, regardless of the version. While David Corenswet finds success as a feel-good reboot, Henry Cavill's Man of Steel remains a favorite for those seeking emotional weight and epic storytelling. Different versions of Superman, yet both are winning in their own ways. But despite their differences, both films seem to hold a special place in fans' hearts. Man of Steel is for those who love layered heroes struggling with purpose, and Gunn's Superman became for fans who want to believe in hope again. It's like, they don't compete, they complement. And now, each of their respective successes seems to prove that the heroes can surely fly side by side. The film reflected a post-9/11 world with its depiction of large-scale destruction and its themes of otherness and national identity. The 2013 iteration showcased moral ambiguity and internal struggles, mirroring the cynicism and trauma experienced by society. In contrast, James Gunn's Superman, 2025, brings back the sunshine. Let us know in the comments, what's your favorite scene from Man of Steel and Superman? Superman is currently running in theaters worldwide. Henry Cavill is a true gamer, as he enjoys one Warhammer title that's only known to real fans. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Please like, share and subscribe for more. One of Cavill's favorite series is none other than Warhammer 40k. He's so fascinated with the franchise that he's even involved in a TV series surrounding it. However, there's one particular Warhammer game that Cavill enjoys the most and only real fans know about it. It's a known fact that Henry Cavill is a massive nerd. The Witcher actor has been into video games since he was a child and has made his passion known throughout his career. One of the most interesting moments came when Cavill talked about his love for video games and how he's a fan of the Total War, Warhammer. When Cavill says,